I clicked it.
Hear ye, hear ye. Week 16 of the NFL season is here, and there is hope during this holiday season. And you know what? There's a little bit of heartbreak as well. So we'll talk about that. And we'll also just talk about, listen, I know a lot of people are just concerned about their best balls or, everything else going on right now. But we're also going to give you some must plays. There are some good games this week to get you back on track if you're out of it, and if you're in it, just to double down. So stick around. It's a Swolecast sponsored by IKB.
You David Mattek from the Swolecast? I was like, yep, that's me.
I just want you guys to know I'm total dust. I'm the problem.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Leave it to the guy with the crypto dunes, Abby, to not understand context.
I should have known you getting 30 likes was directly written by someone else.
You know me, I don't do a ton of research before the show.
I've put no research into this. Don't know if it's true at all.
You're on the right show.
To it, bro. Live a little.
Live a little.
Just live a little, guys.
All right, welcome in. David Kitchen alongside Davis Mattek, Dan Gasper, a.k.a. MrTuttle05, and Pete Overzet. It's the First Look Show. It's the show that is just breaking things down for you, and we're going to do that again. But if you know the show and the thesis behind the show, we also have to, we're continuing to improve. And so we have to look back on some of those things. I want to say, though, shout out to everybody that just continues to support us. Like, subscribe, continue to become a member. We're going to have a different membership tier also, a $4.99 tier, so that people can gift some subs out.
We're like Walmart rolling back prices around here.
That's right. That's right. It's your.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was fiddling with that earlier, and I guess I wanted to converse with you guys first on if we wanted me to make the membership now cheaper or at a new level.
No, you gotta keep the new level, Davis. It's an upsell, so we gotta have the lower. We just open up the funnel, to the $4.99 normies that just want the content and the.
Can we name the tier the Little D's? Little D's, and then you get upgraded to Swolies.
I mean,
I like
it's open for discussion, I think.
Okay.
But also, really quick, I was at the DraftKings Championship this past weekend in Nashville, and talked to some people that came up to me.
How'd you get there? What team did you have qualified?
Who was your plus one?
Guys, when you're a DraftKings pro, it's not always, or former DraftKings pro, it's not
no
always.
One reached out to you to come. You had to have asked.
No, Wiggins. I was Wiggins plus one. I also went out that Thursday night to one of the nicest restaurants with Cal and Aguiar, or Aguiar is.
Who paid?
What's that?
Who paid?
Mr. Aguiar paid.
I love how you felt the need to say the nicest restaurant. We went to the nicest restaurant. There's not a nicer restaurant in Nashville.
It's called the Catbird Seat. It's one of the nicest restaurants in the country. But bottom line is, I'm not paying for that on my own dime. But it was good, and we got to see some people that
Wiggins. I got it. Throws down JJ's credit card.
All right. But yeah, so that was fun. It was like just a bunch of OGs. Bells was there, Cal, Wiggins, the whole ETR crew, Dean Cleone, and we had a good time. Dan Bach, former boss, was there. Not awkward though. First time I've seen him.
It would have been awkward.
Number one seed in the Fantasy Insider Superflex Dynasty Best Ball League. The first.
No, he's number 3 seed. Number 3 seed. But all that being said,
enforcing us to find a new sponsor.
Shout out to IKB, by the way.
Shout out to IKB.
Shout out. I love how listening only audio, you wouldn't know Tuttle is here. It's so true. Tuttle's still on
taking it all in, just taking it all in, guys. You're doing a great job, David. Everybody is enjoying your stories.
Do you have Tuttle? Do you have anything to say before we get to the overview?
I got nothing. Who's playing this week?
Do you have UCL at all?
No. EFL Cup, and that's not until tomorrow.
Okay, so we get Tuttle's full attention.
I'm ready for the questions on why we don't have projections for it, but we don't cover it.
Shout out 2K to first GPP. I think they'll survive.
Shout out to Tutsky, and I'm bearing the lead because there's a lot I want to say. I'm not going to say it until we get to setting the table and Mr. Overzet's overview.
Got that dog in a butt. Got that dog in a butt. Overzet, overview. Come on.
There we go. All right. Slappy week is in the books, and boy, did it not disappoint. So many slap picks went off. I mean, Devontae Walker, Davis, incredible stuff. I think going forward, we should make week 15 slap week, international slap week, Davis.
Yeah, when I'm right, I'm right. When I'm right, I'm right, man. Jalen McMillan, Devontae Walker, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, slap ass week.
Davis celebrated slap week by selecting Travis Kelce on a Jared Goff team that would have finished top 5 in the battle royale if he had taken Laporta.
Yeah,
dude, Laporta had to take a photo with me. Can't take him in the BR.
love to cost yourself 5K.
I did. It was a nice team day. So what was it? Still top 30, right? Top 30.
Yeah. Well,
there you go. Speaking of Chiefs, there was some controversy on whether the Xavier Worthy TD on Sunday was a run or a pass. Maybe Davis can sneak a team into week 16 if it gets stat corrected to being worth 100 points.
100 points in week 14, maybe. I advanced 0 Mahomes teams in BBM, so I wasn't even sweating it.
The only team I advanced in BBM, and I kid you not, has Deshaun Watson on it.
Yes.
Dave,
I told you.
Please stop DMing me about an equity share. It's not funny when you're in my DM saying the team is destined for a happy ending. Just grow up.
No.
Grow up. Bill Belichick is the new head coach for the UNC Tar Heels. I look forward to him bringing the same energy to recruiting that Tuttle brings to the Swolecast. Yeah, just right there. We got UCL projections.
Signed the papers already.
Kitchen had a pretty embarrassing moment yesterday. Everyone was talking about pod luck, and he started making a potato salad for a best ball meetup. Pod luck, not pot luck. Kitchen.
That's not how we do it down here in the South.
Oh, best ball pot luck. Rumor has it that Davis and Hit 'em with the Gritty are teaming up for a new best ball masterclass titled How to Advance 0 BBM Teams and Take Your Personal Brand to the Next Level.
Me and Gritty having the same number of week 16 teams is so goddamn perfect. It's so beautiful.
I do think Davis's best ball season was dead on arrival when he refused to accept my draft challenge on that Swolecast episode of saying, subscribe for more of that after every pick.
That is true.
It was a real sliding doors moment for you, Davis.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if that could have turned it around.
I advanced the same amount of teams to the BBM semifinals as Jack Settleman. There's no follow-up. I just want to let that sink in for a sec. Jesus.
How many teams was that?
One. Via Jack Settlement. One team to the semis. If Brock Bowers, maybe just one more catch. Literally one more catch from Brock Bowers.
Are you actually mentally unwell enough that you were sweating your week 15 teams?
I pulled it up. I pulled it up and I saw that I needed one Brock Bowers. Yes.
That is a mental error. That is a mental error.
Mike Leone advanced 6 teams to the BBM finals. Honestly, seems kind of light for a guy who wrote a fucking manifesto about the game. God, that's all this world needs. Another Italian nerd with a manifesto.
Oh, that really, I don't know why. That one really got me.
The Chipotle brothers won the DK final for $2.5 million. the second greatest family win on DraftKings since Tanner and Jade. Enjoy the extra guac, bitches. Somewhere out there's a low-stakes best ball player debating whether to splurge for X premium so they can get extra characters for a bio update. One Brock Bowers catch away from advancing to the semis in the Mini Schnauzer 6.
By the way, no. I'm currently positioned to make a Mini Schnauzer final, and I've decided that's not going in the bio.
No, you will. You will victory lap the shit out of that. Honestly, for all of us, it does feel like at this point, the only real sweat is whether the future BBM champ keeps the streak alive of shouting out the Swolecast after their victory. But I don't feel like it's our year, guys. This feels like the kind of year where the BBM5 champ shouts out Scott Barrett for a power law player.
No, I was going the other way. It's gonna be a run pure. It's gonna be a run pure, boy. It's gotta be.
No,
be.
They're DK partners. They're over in the DraftKings.
Okay, you're right.
Davis is feeling vindicated for touting and drafting Savone Vaki after David Montgomery tore his MCL. Davis is now one Gibbs, Craig Reynolds, and Dan Skipper injury away from a flow free lap tour. I literally didn't look at a single thing for this slate. I just wrote best ball jokes. Back to you, Dave.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't want to I don't want to run over any jokes, but yes, for people that are asking, I've got 2 DK best ball Millie teams and an underdog team still alive. Pete, sounds like you got a team still alive. Davis, how many side draft teams do you have?
An account. I don't want to know.
Okay. And then Tuttle actually gave his EV to iMagikarp, who in Tuttle's draft advanced to the semis. So shout out to Justin. And yeah, we appreciate that.
YouTube member, OG Swole. I'm
right.
Doing my job.
Yeah, thank you. Pete, as the other guy on this show that has best ball semifinalist teams this week, are you going to be sweating them at all?
The teams that I have in the semis?
Yeah.
But I will say, I didn't even. You have to wait to sweat, right?
Yeah. Last week you did for sure because you didn't know what to cheer for.
Well, I mean, I looked on Sunday night and I had 6 teams advancing, which obviously would have been Sun running. And then after the Sunday night game, I was down to 4. And then after Monday Night Football, I was down to 1. So you just can't get your fucking hopes up.
For you particularly, that had to have been bad because with 16.9%, Zach Charbonnet was your most drafted player.
Yeah, but Charbonnet honestly didn't move the needle. What did he have? 14 points?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you ran bad.
And Addison was on a ton of my teams. And then Bowers scoring 5 points. He was on 10 of my teams.
Sharp's not doing anything in the fourth quarter last in that Sunday night game. Just cost points. I needed 1 Jefferson catch to advance 2 more teams last night. That's when it's unhealthy.
That touchdown drop he had.
Oh yeah, it was
that
bad.
was nasty business.
Yeah.
He never drops so.
Was not lost on me that Xavier Worthy scored 20 points in week 15. That really the irony there, not lost on me.
You know who my saving grace was? Bateman. That was
you and Gritty, man. Everyone thought Gritty was on pace to advance all the teams he got through. The thing we were all sweating was Henry to suck and Barkley to suck, and they did.
Yeah.
So if you happen to be an idiot and you got a bunch of teams through this year, you should have.
Don't say an idiot, Davis. Don't say that. Just because people did not draft the way that you wanted to draft, don't call
I'm
them
literally
idiots.
calling myself an idiot. I'm saying if you drafted like me and you don't have any of these guys who scored all these points, that was the perfect run out. They all sucked. All the high advanced guys sucked.
I can't figure out who which archetype of drafter is going to win, right? Because all the robust RB drafters, Barkley and Henry, got wiped out. All of us, 0 RB slappies, didn't get there. I guess it's the Leones.
It's the Leones. It's the ETR ranks perfectly balanced. No one higher than 16.7%. Maybe you let yourself live a little and you take a little Kyle Pitts. You get to 19% Kyle Pitts. And here I am. I'm doing the bit. I'm gaslighting Leone, who has 6 fucking teams in the semis, and I'm hoping to win the goddamn big board. So I think probably.
Well, do you know what? Doesn't Liam have 5? Didn't I see he has 5 or 6 teams?
Yeah.
I don't know. He sent a lot.
You thought you would have learned something from potting with him all summer, David.
Yeah. How does that happen, Davis?
Well, all I know is that he advanced 0 Josh Allen teams, which is pretty. It's pretty poetic.
Rusty says Davis should have equity shared with Dave. That is true. Remember we talked about that this summer?
Little did we know none of us would have any equity.
Yeah, no one should equity swap with me. I'll say that.
Real OGs remember when Kitchen and I swapped gift equity in the Puppy 2 finals.
Yeah.
It was the second year, the puppy we were both in there.
Yeah, and I gave you the Jokic moam. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's look ahead at this upcoming week.
It's sick.
Wait, you guys don't want to talk a little bit best ball, maybe some more? I think we can do that if you guys want.
You know, NFTs are going up, Dan. Do you know that? Do you know NFTs are selling again? There's a big claim today in the streets.
Is that Pingu?
Top shots?
No, the Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah, Smith was on
I remember
that.
those guys.
Smith was on that. All right. Let's go with this week. Some of the games that you are looking forward to, Davis.
I mean, I think the game that is most interesting for fantasy is the Darth Vader Luke Skywalker game, San Francisco, Miami. Both teams are like technically on the very outskirts of alive for the playoffs, so they can't. Like, this will be both teams trying as hard as they can, but both teams are having like far and away the most disappointing seasons that they could have imagined. McDaniel probably coaching for his job. And by and large, the players from that game are pretty cheap. I mean, A-Chain is expensive, but Tyreek is 6.9.
What's the Waddle latest?
I'd say it was day-to-day was the report yesterday.
Yeah. Like every Jalen Waddle injury, it looks as if not only is his career ended, but it might be life-threatening. And he's day-to-day.
Dude, speaking of that, how scary was that Greg Dubois?
That was bad. I've
never seen the jersey get cut off there.
The pads. Yeah.
It's
bad.
Gotta say, Cleveland Cincinnati does not feel so good with Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting. If you have Jamar Chase bags that got through, which my lone remaining big board team big dog has Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, not feeling so hot about that.
That sucks, man. Like if you have Watson, I wish. If you have Winston on the other side, that game could have actually have been real hot.
Pete, I did this too. Did you do? I played CJ Stroud and Dingle Collins on my main team.
No, Pete didn't. Pete said he would stop doing that.
I've never felt dumber. I've never felt dumber than watching CJ Stroud throw for 131 yards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard Pete say, like, at the Battle Royale stuff, he was never going to do that again.
Have you been watching Peter's Friday BR Gems video, David?
This is how I win.
Have you ever drafted a BR of your own volition?
No.
Yeah, no chance.
You just support? Do you hit the like button while you're there, Dave?
I was watching if we're being honest, I was watching yesterday to see how many teams you were advancing. And
the portfolio review. Yeah. Not enough, brother. Not enough.
Go ahead.
That team it's every other play is a penalty or a CJ Stroud sack. I mean, Nico just got incredibly lucky to even score 2 touchdowns, and it didn't even matter because he had
17 points with 2 touchdowns. I mean, that is phenomenal stuff. And you know what was in my head on Sunday morning when I clicked it? It was Dan saying, I'm going back to the CJ Stroud well. Those little, very
You should listen on to Aaron Rodgers. Too selectively listening.
Members that were on the Friday show or Thursday show heard Dan say Rodgers double stack. And
that is actually true. That is true on the members.
Dude, that was just like old school DFS served up on a platter. You know, Breece Hall banged up. No Tyler Conklin. Super condensed Wilson and Adams. And the classic bring back. No Evan Ingram, BTJ turning into a monster. It was all right there.
Connor, it was easy. Arizona D.
It was easy, but Aaron Rodgers hadn't thrown 3 touchdowns and 300 yards for 4 years or whatever, so he couldn't.
He had 300 yards last week, bro.
I know, but that was the narrative.
Back.
It was
He's
whatever,
back, yeah.
two weeks in a row or whatever. He hasn't done it.
It happens though. It was like Baker didn't do
years.
it last year, right? He was the guy, and then this year it was like Stafford doesn't do it until he does it. Rodgers doesn't do it until he fucking does it and wins those brothers $2.5 million. I'm over it. Where they sell it? What did I heard? Shady Advice went on stage after and was pretty bummed out. Did the Chipotle brothers go up there and accept the check?
I don't think they were there. I actually left like at the last minute. There was one player that was live to win it. Maybe that was Shady's team.
He was like an Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown away, I think.
Yeah. But I was out of there. And when they shut down the buffet, that's when I get out of there. Food was good though. It was legit spread, and like the event was nice. It reminded me of like the old DraftKings days. So shout out to Aguiar and the.
I heard they had a +1 contest. Were you in it?
No. So all right. So here is the cool Tuttle. You would appreciate this. They did a few things. +1 contest. I didn't get a +1 invite. I looked at Wiggins when they told me, and Wiggins like, you were actually like, you weren't even the +1. You were like the guy, like basically. Like, he had so many seats that I wasn't the +1. I was like the person filling in for him, I guess.
All right. I'm not going to fact check.
I'm not following that one. They stole the +1 from FanDuel, actually. The +1 contest. That was
Tuttle, you'll appreciate this, because usually at the end of these things, it's dead. Because everyone did the late slate, you've only got a few people, and everyone's just really, they're just really down in the dumps, except for like 2 parties that are like sweating it out, and you're just watching people like have a good time, basically. And
then you got the random Grant Girton celebration.
Right. That's why I did not. That's why I did not make a team.
Bro,
Grant Girton's name came up multiple times.
Where is Grant Girton?
I don't know. But Grant was like sweating his $50 head-to-head one time, infamously.
He was louder than all the other live.
Shouting louder than
it was unreal.
Everybody else. So, anyways, what they did was they reserved $2 million of the prize pool and had an afternoon slate.
I actually did see that this week. Yeah. So it kept everybody entertained.
Yeah. So everybody was still following along with
that. That's a really smart idea. Because there were 5 games. Pretty good number of games to work for.
Yeah, it was a good slate for it.
Yeah, it's 5 games. So, all right, 11:23. Let's talk about quarterbacks.
I mean, it's just Purdy, dude. Very straightforward, I think.
You don't want Josh Allen's 50 fantasy points?
I feel like
every week.
He's getting 27.4 this week.
Okay.
Maybe not even that.
It's another great fucking spot for him, man.
But the Patriots cannot push anybody. The Patriots are pushless.
Do the Bills have to get pushed? This team just seems like they're willing to go out and hang 40 every game.
They need
the issue with him though, or the Patriots in general, is that even when I don't have the actual play rates in front of me, but anecdotally, they even when playing from behind, the Patriots just continue to kill the clock. It's like last night with Ritter.
They use the whole clock. Yeah. They run first and second down. They call like the dumbest screen. Alex Van Pelt, terrible at his job.
Did you see the screen, or I guess they caught the GM talking to Kraft saying play calling is terrible? Like when Gerard
Mayo threw Alex Van Pelt under the bus.
Yeah. Like, so you wonder what does come out of that. That Drake May shovel pass was nice.
I don't think anyone thinks Drake May is the problem.
Yeah. Buffalo doesn't need to push. They're happy to crush the Patriots.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is just obviously we're reacting to the thing that we most recently saw. There have been plenty of games this season where the Bills have won by a ton and Josh Allen has done nothing, like 20 points, which is good in general, but very bad for 8,700, particularly when he is basically unstackable. He has the 6th most fantasy points of any player ever in back-to-back games. And the only player who has crested 20 fantasy points in that stretch is Ty Johnson.
Well, maybe the answer is what it's been the past 2 weeks when he gets there and it's the double bring back. You know, you had the Kyren, Puka, Amon-Ra Gibbs. So it's you play Allen, like you got to play Ramondre and Hunter Henry or something.
Yeah. If that is what you need to win this week, I'll probably be excluded from winning, which I'm very comfortable with. I'm very comfortable.
we call that a Sunday around here.
Yeah. I'm just very used to that. But it just really feels like buying, like truly Josh Allen before these last 2 weeks had not topped 25 fantasy points since week 3. So, that's not true. He had 28 against San Francisco, which still would not do it for 8,700. 28 is not doing it. Shakir maybe got there in like the red zone or something. Even then, because he didn't even get the bonus that week. Shakir, the week he did get the bonus. So he got 24. So there you go. He's brought 2 players with him in the weeks where he is combined for 96 fantasy points.
Any
other high priced quarterbacks? I'm just curious. Do we know what the Saquon Barkley injury was?
They said it was like not a big deal. Because he came back in and he had 12 carries after he went to the medical tent. So they didn't provide an update.
I mean, is that Washington Philly game interesting at all?
Yes. I mean, so like if I was going to play an expensive quarterback, I'd rather Hurts.
Philly's defense has been really good this year, but I mean, Jaden Daniels would be fun. As far as like on the opposite side, what happened to AJ Brown at the end? It seemed like he got hurt.
He got hip drop tackled, but it's first look show, so we're not going to get the reports until
I haven't seen anything about him.
But I mean, and this would get steamed obviously if AJ Brown's out, but Devontae, Grant Calcaterra, doubles. There you go. That's pretty much their entire passing game.
And your bring back is so obvious because there's only one dude who gets any targets. Although, shout out, I mean, you want to talk about slappy week. Zach Ertz gets injured, and it is Ben Sinnott and not Cole Turner.
Can you imagine?
The receiving tight end. Ben Sinnott ran the second most routes on the team after Ertz went out. I mean, that is like as slappy as it gets.
The Brian Robinson Jr. owners in that DraftKings room, the energy was just sucked out. They got on the 1 yard line twice. And both times ended up being Jaden Daniels to F1 for the touchdown.
That was one of my BR gems, Peter, and he was not very gemful. Only got outscored by James Conner by about 37 points.
Yeah, that's rough.
Speaking of the Cardinals, like you know what's gonna happen, right? After he was the cash game quarterback, all that jazz. Kyler Floplags.
I think he might just be excluded from mattering. I mean, they are so ass. They're painful.
Carolina is pretty ass themselves.
Yeah, we are getting into like narrative season and tanking season and contract season and everything else. We are going to get a McBride touchdown this week. Guarantee it.
Dude, that Make-A-Wish
guarantee it.
So
that's only the 14th week in a row.
I've never said it. I've never said it, but after they tried the old underhand pass to it, it's clear they are going to get McBride a touchdown.
I think what's going to happen this week is people will be on McBride because of the matchup instead of Bowers, but Bowers is the one you want because he's going to be less owned this week. It's my guess. That's my guess.
Okay.
Let's talk about cheapies because there are a lot of vomit guys this week. We have the aforementioned Rodgers. We have Caleb Williams. We have Anthony Richardson is 5,400 against your Titans, Dave. Sam Howell is 5,200. Remember Sam Howell vomit stacks? I mean, Sam Howell vomit stacks used to be the move every week. Tuttle, did you see him play?
No,
he's like the worst quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, he's awful.
He can't play.
Yeah, no, he's terrible.
He's one of those guys. But that's also valuable if you start looking at like some of the first read stuff, right? Because he's not getting past the first read on anything. So that's like the Cooper Rush thing. Is I remember going on a couple showdowns ago trying to play Jalen Tolbert, and
yeah,
it's just these guys, they're so bad they can't get, and the offensive line's terrible too. So you just can't get past first read. So if you look up Seattle, whoever, I'm guessing it's JSN is the primary guy with a lot of the first read stuff, then maybe you pull something like that. But man, he is so bad. He can run, so maybe he busts. Maybe he starts using his legs a little bit more, and the JSN stack gets there. But man, he was.
You got it in you. Mac Jones, 46 passing attempts last week, 20 DK points. I mean, outscored Kyler.
Hey, and he had some confidence too.
He's got Brian Thomas Jr.
That's
right. He's got Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange going to be the cash game tight end this week.
Yeah, I
think they have to get pushed is the issue, right?
Yeah.
They'll have to get in. Vegas isn't pushing him.
No.
You've got. I don't know about Anthony Richardson. I mean, he's just
my guess is he's the cash game quarterback right now.
That sounds like a bad time.
Nah.
He's 5,400. There's not a ton of value this week.
I
can't wait to get in the cash game streets here.
I think I'd rather go
Caleb
Williams.
Buddy. 2 weeks.
We're getting ready.
Caleb doesn't run though. The thing when you're using a vomit quarterback in cash is they gotta have 40 yards rushing and a touchdown.
He had almost 40 yards rushing against Detroit last time. Like he had a pretty good game against Detroit, and they were pushing. So I think that they're obviously throwing more. They're gonna be playing from behind. So give me Caleb Williams in that role. All right, let's make a team.
IKB, Peter.
Let me guess what? I logged into my IKB account. I wanted to check the results from last week.
Yeah.
We got 6th place, fellas. We got 6th
place.
I got a little
$44.88
stimmy. Look at this. So we had Drake May, we had Chase Brown, because we know ball, T. Higgins, we had McMillan. I don't know whose suggestion it was, play Tank Dell, Trey McBride, and Rico.
Brother.
We played well, dude. The all slappy lineup on slappy.
I told you, dude, it was slappy fucking week.
Yeah.
So we do have the week 16
who's the winner?
Contest up here. Yeah, let me go see actually.
Usually you do that before the
well, this show's kind of all about us. HD _ XRP.
Wow. XRP.
XRP? Do you think he's
like I think that's in
you think he's a rando, or do you think he is like he just saw the contest in the lobby?
He saw Swolecast championship and he was like, I'm gonna take
I think XRP bulls love the Swolecast.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what? I'm betting that's true. I'm betting there's a big Venn diagram there.
We do have the Swolecast week 16 championship up there, ready to go. We're gonna pull up the draft board here. As always, get on IKB, guys. It is the exact same salaries as DraftKings, so you don't have to, think about another salary structure. But the contests are rate free, and you can compete against us. And we'll show you the way here with a real slappy lineup.
Can I have the first pick?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Juwan Jennings. They just refuse. Like, this guy should be $8,000 DraftKings dollars. He's prime Randy goddamn Moss. What is going on, dude? Every game, this guy gets. Come on.
We love you, Randy.
Yeah, dude. Shout out, Randy Moss.
I think we should do a Detroit running back. Do you guys want Gibbs or Vaki?
That Sion Vaki touchdown is gonna hit like crack, dude. Let me tell you, all the people who have taken to Twitter to mock me for being right, they are just they are gonna be so pissed off when he scores.
We are putting Jahmyr Gibbs in. Speaking of a player who's mispriced by about $2,000 without David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good question. If you could have one guy left in the pool, it's definitely Gibbs, right? Gibbs would be the one-on-one of guys you could select to have on a best ball team.
Yeah, he's gonna go giga nuclear.
Yep. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
All right, let's throw it to Dave. Then Tuttle can go.
I don't know if I like Achan seems like another good.
That's too. I don't know if we got the money here, brother. We might need to scale down.
Okay,
So
I don't know.
need to
Asking
go-
Kitchen to find us a good punt play.
No, stop. I'm the one who recommended McMillan last week. I've been the punt master.
Roll back the tape. Not true. That was me.
No, that was me. I put him in the lineup.
Roll the tape.
Davis, 100%. What do you want to
Roll
bet?
the tape. Someone roll the tape.
50% of your Best Ball Mania 5 semifinal team.
Sure. Yeah.
He literally doesn't have one.
I literally don't have one.
Oh, gosh.
Booked.
Dang it.
Davis has done that giveaway twice now.
It's very possible you did. I just know I liked McMillan last week because it was slappy.
I mean, you co-signed on it, but it was not yours. Man.
All right, well then Dan can do it. There's one very obvious value play that we need to do.
I mean, I'm taking the stack because nobody has.
Go
And
for
I'm
it.
taking a guy that we didn't talk about, but it correlates with the team. The defense is in shambles. We're going Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen.
Ooh. All right, let's do
I
it.
like it.
All right, so we
Yeah,
got Caleb to Keenan, Gibbs, and Juwan here.
Keenan is probably going to be in cash for
Yeah.
for the ETR slappies, but there's another. In fact, these are the wide receivers I have saved right now in my cash game shell, and there's one more.
Let's maybe so. Last week the theme was Slappy Week. This week, seeing Jennings and Keenan, it's guys who are going to grade out extremely well in the 2024 reception perception by Matt Harmon.
Well,
guys that just get open, baby.
What about Malik Neighbors at 61?
No. Jalen Coker is the number one ETR.
Yeah, but
value play.
I'm saying, can we put in Malik Neighbors at 6,100?
Where are we saving money here, David? Who's our value play?
That's for us to decide. We still have a tight end, a flex, a defense.
Can you sell me on Neighbors? He's had like 1.5 good games all year, and his quarterback situation is dire.
14 targets last week in a blowout.
Against one of the worst secondaries in football.
Yeah. And you think Atlanta is going to stop him in the dome?
I'm legitimately worried about the Neighbors ceiling. I actually think he has like a decent floor because of those target shares, but I mean, can Neighbors do what an Adams or BTJ did? Maybe I'm jaded, but it just seems so thin at this point.
Of course. He's got some air yards behind him.
Okay.
So
can't wait till next week.
Is that a BR gem? Is that a BR gem, Peter?
No.
Malik Neighbors?
No, because he'll have the ADP. He'll be like ADP 31. He'll be 100% drafted and end up being one of the worst clicks.
No, he's not.
What's he at?
I literally don't remember seeing his name this morning, and the farthest I scrolled down is to wide receiver 19, Juwan Jennings. Currently rocking.
I'll go look, but whose pick is it?
Jalen Coker. Let's put him in flex.
All right. Neighbors 33.
Passing up on Devontae Smith in the flex. Dang it.
Coker is just like the lock. So Dave kind of messed us up with the Neighbors. He's got the Tim Boyle, Malik Neighbors stack going on.
All right, we need a tight end and DST, and we have 5,100 remaining per player. Should we put a defense in?
Yeah, we're
gonna have plenty of money.
Young man named Ben Sinnott.
No, we're gonna have more money than that.
Okay.
Like if we put in a 2,700, that leaves us a 6,400 player.
Let's go Titans D at 26.
Where do you get your ideas? I like that. It's gonna be if Richardson's the cash game quarterback, this is how we get our leverage.
And then we've got tons of money.
Could play Brenton Strain.
Let's see here.
We need a running back still.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I knew we were one short. So we have 6,450 for 2 spots, running back and
This is
tight
perfect.
end.
Sounds like
Chase
tight end was
Brown,
already
right?
picked, right? Trey McBride.
He's 6,200. He's expensive.
If you do him,
So we could do
Kittle.
Gurendo McBride fits, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do what does like Jonnu get us? Jonnu gives us 7,400. That gets you HN. You could go HN Jonnu.
Sure, that was Kitchen's original pick, so we can go back to what Dave wanted. Roll the tape.
Does that make you happy, Dave?
Sure. Listen,
I want you to be happy.
Honestly, I was being selfish. Like, Davis should be picking this week. Like, he should have more of a sweat for a team like this than I do. I've got teams to cheer for. I don't need one more, Team player.
Life's already been so good to you, Kitchen. It's time for someone else.
ADP 33, so not as low as I thought.
All right. I am going to place this entry. Do not dupe us, but come compete with us in the Swolecast Week 16 Championship on IKB. They got a full sports book, other contests. And look, if we're able to finish 6th place with a thematic slappy team that we built on a Tuesday last week, you too can find success on IKB.
Swish_Sanders, one of our Swolies, said 3605 last week. McMillan was indeed suggested by Kitchen. Good job, right wing slappy. So
right, David, if you didn't already have it, can you message Underdog Support and see if we can change you to right wing slappy?
No, it'd be David Kitchen UD.
You wouldn't want to be David Kitchen X across platforms.
No.
David Kitchen drafters.
You got any drafter sweats this year, Dave?
I don't. That was a sweat last year. All right, let's go to
famous sweat.
Running backs this week. Obviously, Gibbs is the lock. Let's talk about the other guys. You got Chase Brown at 7,700. You got Achane. You got Kyron Williams.
Pete, I have the feeling that the slappy community is now going to have moved on to their shiny new toy, and Chase Brown is actually going to get left alone this week. I think Chase Brown he'll be like 18%, but people click on Bijan, obviously Barkley, James Conner. James Conner, he will be the new shiny toy.
I don't know, man. Do you think? I don't think the other thing, because like Chase was the one who was supposed to get a little squeeze last week, and then he did it again. And now I feel like everyone's just on board. You save the 400, and people just watched Derrick Henry not get there against the Giants.
I do love that Dan Bott came in my mentions saying that Chase Brown wasn't an all-time pick, and now Chase Brown literally is averaging more points per start than every other fantasy football player in the entire league. Since Zach Moss went on IR, Chase Brown leads fantasy football in points.
Roll the tape back. I called Chase Brown this year's Devon Achane.
You did. Shout
on
out.
the other hand, I called Zach Moss this year's Raheem Mostert. So, 50-50.
Not shiny new toy is not the right way, but something the field has really
definitely
done,
not new.
Yeah, definitely not new. But the field has just been pretty obvious about how their mind creates associations this year, where the guy who smashed last week, who then repeats in a good matchup, is always like pretty owned. Like Josh Allen was 5% more owned in every contest than his ownership projection.
This is a loaded running back slate. There's a lot to like here. Davis, pull up the screen. I have the running back filtered so people can at least see these salaries here.
So
like even James Cook, man, like if you're not in on the Allen price tag and you think they're going to steamroll there, I mean, James Cook at 7K looks nice.
Also scroll down to under the 5K range and you're going to see somebody.
Who are we going to see?
Is this going to be Tajay Spears?
Tajay.
That was all garbage. Like literally all garbage.
Yeah, but Pollard wasn't out there at all. Like
Pollard had 14 rushes. Spears
but he was
ran
banged
all the
up too.
routes.
That's what I think you have to.
Obviously, Pollard doesn't play, but you're not playing Spears in this running back.
Let me guess. Dave's gonna tout Amir Abdullah next.
Well, Amir Abdullah may be
next same.
But
hey,
you
this show is not has recommended Amir Abdullah multiple times.
Kitchen, speaking of this, were you the biggest like Keyshawn Vaughn Bowl in those dynasty drafts that year?
Yes, because he went to Vanderbilt.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
I liked him, but I
Yeah.
wasn't like a bull. But yeah,
Oh,
he's
you
on the
were a bull.
Niners right now.
Actually,
I guess
not
that's-
the biggest bowl, because Siege argued that the year he came out, he should have been the 101. In fact, in our league, he might have even taken him 101.
Yeah, I mean, if it weren't for Brady, he probably would still be a featured back somewhere.
Stayed with
Brady
Jeff
just-
Janis and Rodgers.
Brady just nuked him.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have to choose a Tampa running back this week. Any other running backs that you like? Like, what about, is Kenneth Walker close to playing?
I think close.
If
Like,
he,
It'd
if
be
he
hard to
does,
he'd
trust
be
him.
fun. He'd be
if he,
fun.
well, I think for DFS, we're hoping he doesn't, because it feels like Charbonnet has played well enough. And I guess he played really well when Walker was out earlier, but it feels like Charbonnet's played well enough that it would be crazy for Walker to come back into getting all these passing routes and getting like 19 rushes a game. But I guess the coaches
Tuttle,
do
who's your
love him.
Tuttle? Who's your favorite running back here? Knee jerk, first look, favorite click.
To me, the guy that stands out as getting squeezed, that actually has upside just due to volume, would be Kyron.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
is, I
What I
mean,
said.
absolute workhorse. And all the guys priced around him are going to go much higher on than him.
Every week he kind of gets squeezed, honestly.
Yeah, nobody
Because
likes playing him.
It's because it's almost like a super binary thing, right? Because he's not going to catch a lot of passes, and so you're just like, am I getting the 2 tutty game or am I not? And it feels, when you play Achan, you play these other guys, it's like I'm going to get 4 to 5 PPR floor catching balls. So I do like leaning into that. And God, how many carries did he have last week? Was it like 25,
29
26?
the last 2 weeks each. Yeah,
Insane.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not as fun. Like the ceiling is not as fun.
Yeah,
as some of
he
these other guys,
is
but
not a fun sweat.
Yeah,
He's not a fun sweat. He sure ain't.
But if it's on the 4 or 3 yard line, he's going to get some touches. He's going to get at least 2 tries for it. All right. Any other running backs to talk about before we move on to wide receiver?
I was wondering what the Tyrone Tracy split looked like. If that's
It's like full
still-
70-30, but they keep giving Singletary
the
these
goal
1-yard
line
touchdowns.
That goal
touches,
line carry. Oof, that was
It's
bad.
bad. Yeah, I'm not sure. Chuba.
Chuba
Chuba.
flop, Chuba flop leg after being
Yeah.
like 47% owned last week.
Dude, that's the ultimate flop lag game. Carolina and in Arizona. That has big like Jets Jags energy from last week.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that game.
All right, let's go to wide receiver because I think we talk about all the running back options. I think there's a ton of receiver options.
The thing is,
Because
there's just never anyone cheap. There's just
The
we
si-
just do
yeah,
not
but
do-
it's all
don't
like-
get these guys anymore.
It's all, but it's there's also not a ton of like super expensive guys, so it's just figuring out that middle range.
Where does Amari Cooper 23% owned 0-0-0 rank in kind of the all-time pantheon of NFL DFS GPP plays? That was one of my favorite terrible clicks that I've ever made in my life. Really bad. Flop leg Amari Cooper week, Dave?
Nah.
Jeez, man.
Wasn't he on like the winner still of a lot of the
He
really
was
good
the
lineups?
I won the
He was-
spy.
He was on the winner
Yeah.
of the spy. Yeah.
Just because you get the Goff doubles and he was kind of the bring back option.
Isn't it kind of crazy that the 49ers don't have Ayuk, they don't have C-Mac, and yet
They
Debo
don't
right
have
now
Debo.
is at 5,200. Isn't that just crazy?
Not if you've been watching them.
Yeah, I'd maybe click Debo if he was like 3,700, like he and Kayshawn Booty.
As somebody who captained him, block captained him in the last showdown,
I remember that.
The positive note is they are trying to force him the ball. He sucks, but they are actively. I mean, Purdy sucks though too. So
No, Purdy does not suck though. That's the thing.
Okay,
Purdy.
so you must not.
Suck.
The interception was absolutely brutal last game. The missed Pierce.
Buddy, if you thought I was watching a San Francisco 49ers primetime game,
it was
no
brutal.
shot. I would have had to have been paid $374.
Dude, that game set NFL back 20 years. It was so bad. So
I was at one of the nicest restaurants in the country that night.
Imagine having to do a 4-hour companion stream for it.
So Pete knows what
for a good game. For a good game, I just YouTube Premium listen to the Shipcast. But for that game, I wasn't even supporting my friends at the Shipcast. I couldn't do it.
So as a super casual this time of year at NFL, I brought open the DK Championship leaderboard just to look at it last week, and I was like, why is De'Ami Brown 17% owned? And I see why he was 17% owned, and he's not very good. But as the further I look, I am kind of intrigued by like Jaden Daniels, De'Ami Brown, Ben Sinnott stacks. Like
he ran a bunch of routes.
All these guys ran a ton of routes. And you're getting like De'Ami Brown's 3,300 or 3,200, something like that. Sinnott's 2,800. I've burned money in worse ways. Like that's kind of intriguing to me personally.
Yeah,
I've got Greg Dortch at 3,200.
No,
I can't wait to have this debate next week. He's like, I put him in our lineup, and Dave's like, roll back the tape. I did.
Yeah, Davis is about to null wave it.
Yeah, because it was just the one play.
Dude, he looked like he had some juice on one.
Yeah,
he had one catch.
Well, he does. He is very good. He's just very small.
I thought it was Rondale Moore for a second. I was like, what is going on?
Buddy, if Rondale Moore was having this Ray McLeod season, someone's advance rates would have been like 9% or something instead of 7%.
We'll always remember when he had to go practice on the JV field.
Yeah, he did score a rushing touchdown. Instead,
that's what I'm saying, the end round.
Offensive lineman landed on top of it, and that's kind of the Greg Dortch experience.
I'm just saying at 3,200, you could do worse.
Malik Washington actually is a much more as leverage on Coker. I think you could talk me into that.
Yeah, he has a nice role, all things considered.
Coker ownership in the SPY over under.
See, you think he's going to be mega juice? He's not. Zero chance.
Yeah.
Why do you think that doesn't play? Definitely.
Why?
Leggett, I think, is already announced out. He scored an 83-yard touchdown last week. People have played these cheap, slappy Panthers guys all year. David Moore was once the most owned player in cash games.
Yeah, but it didn't work out that time either.
Well, just look at slate context. Though we've talked about if AJ Brown is out, Devontae Smith's 5,800, Keenan Allen's 5,300. You just don't have to.
And
like,
Coker
4,200
up 500. Yeah.
He's not 4,200. Coker's not. Like,
well, if Coker is like 12%, I'll be jamming.
You remember in the old FanDuel days when the tight end pricing was like, it wasn't the same as DraftKings where there was this large gap, and so you just would play kind of like good tight ends. You didn't really go cheap tight end on FanDuel. That's what I'm saying for this. It's either really cheap, like at the Greg Dortch level, or you just go these 5-6K range guys. I mean, you got Keenan Allen at 5,300.
Man, I'm blessed to have been absolved from playing Elijah Moore for another week. I'm feeling awesome about that. He would have been pumping in the optimals.
You got Harrison Jr. at 5,400.
I'd rather play Coker if they were both 5,400.
You got JMO at 5,500.
JMO in any game that people decide the Lions are a play is always overowned.
You know who's now? I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is just flat out underpriced. Yeah, this is an awesome matchup. The Raiders secondary sucks. And the thing is like, I think my perception of him early in the season was like he had to get there on the big plays, the deep A dot, and now he's just like the entire offense without Evan Ingram. I think he's a jam.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree.
This range of BTJ, Addison, Neighbors, JSN is a fun one. Because JSN, I mean, he's the only guy doing anything in Seattle.
Would you play JSN with Howell? I think
Sure.
I would. I think
Yeah.
I think I like him with Howell.
He'd be the guy you'd want to play with Howell.
Do you know what it was? Think about the narrative last year. It was JSN scored that touchdown in week 16 when Drew Lock came in, right? It was like we were all waiting for JSN to do something, and Drew Lock uncorks that touchdown. Now Sam Howell's going to come in and get him there.
True.
Gosh, you talk about flop lag though. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp is the do you believe in math play of the week, because Leone will have him as a really good play.
Gosh, I had 25% of them on my advancing teams on both sites.
25% of them, huh?
Last week. Yeah, I mean, I needed them bad. And
So 25% of, yeah, crazy.
So, we needed them. You also have
zero ball from Kupp is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What was Hayden Winks' explanation for that?
I don't even know.
I know it wasn't like, I mean, like Puka still, I mean, he didn't find the end zone, but he still balled out in that game, had some nice plays.
I mean, that's what Puka does, man.
Puka's a dog, man.
That
What a
fifth round rookie
dog.
from BYU, famously.
Can you believe that? I still, sometimes I just think about the
can.
Puka thing and it's insane.
Yeah. I recommend it on the show. You guys laughed at me.
Recommend what? Are you going back to like
Puka.
2.5 years ago?
Yeah. Back when he was a nobody. I mean, did I see him being number 3 receiver overall? All right. Chase or Jefferson, yay or nay there. I know it's not great. I mean, Jefferson still has, I guess, a path, right?
Yeah, he has a fucking path.
Yeah,
Jefferson has the most games of any player in football with more than 15 or more PPR points, but that's about all he's got going for him.
all right.
So
I think I
thing
lean
is so
Jefferson.
tilting.
If I had to pick one to put in a lineup, Jefferson.
I agree.
DTR really is a bummer.
What are the Lions gonna do? Because this is only Goff's second game outdoors all year, I think. Like, you would think without Montgomery they would tilt more pass heavy, but maybe it's
What's
just
the weather
like
going to be like
kinda-
in Chicago?
Maybe they'll have
So-
Dan Skipper sit on him on the sideline to keep him warm in between.
Sunday
mid-20s
high
in
of
Chicago.
27. Ooh,
Yeah, mid-20s.
boy.
Do we if we're not playing Gibbs, what are we doing? We just hope the game sucks, right? It's not that we have to. We're not.
You just
playing
gotta
any
hope
other
he
Detroit
gets.
guys.
You just gotta hope if you don't play Gibbs, you gotta hope he gets like 24 and that Chase
Yeah.
Brown or whoever matches him or beats him.
That
If
feels.
you don't
not
play
that
Gibbs,
bad. Yeah.
if you don't play Gibbs, you play Goff and a Lions receiver.
Laporta, man, I think Laporta is kind of the secret
He's only
beneficiary.
like 4,700, but like the Lions are going to score.
Wish I was more woke to Laporta last week. I tell you what.
Yeah. Remember when people used to make fun of elite tight ends? How about the first one off the board?
Yeah.
Getting home there.
How about it?
Yeah. Pete, what about my prediction on your channel that you needed one of the
I invited
top
you on my
4?
channel. Was I down that bad?
Wow.
Oh, the one where I invited everyone to give a take. Yeah.
Worthy versus Neighbors, by the way, is awful uncomfortable for the people who mocked that take. I just want that on the record.
I said you needed one of the top 4 quarterbacks, and I should have just said top 3 quarterbacks. Mahomes doesn't count. So you got lots of those quarterbacks.
Little did we
in
know
the
how
semifinals.
much Mahomes would not, in fact, count for fantasy football this year.
One of my advancing teams in the finals has Hollywood Brown on it, so I'm just praying he gets there in week 6 or 17.
Yeah.
So
Tuttle, give us a sleeper tight end for this week.
Oh, you're coming to me for a sleeper tight end?
Mm-hmm. Well, look at the other people on the panel and don't have
I got nothing for you. What was the? Yeah, I got nothing for you.
Dan, I was so
Okay.
ready for you to do Kyle Pitts right there.
Yeah.
was
I
so
almost
ready.
did just because he was middle of Pete's
I mean,
screenshot there.
there's gonna
All
be
right,
lots of
I
people
mean,
going back to
the issue is
Strange.
not a sleeper. Calcaterra is not a sleeper.
No, no one likes Calcaterra. Trust me. I've been doing this Calcaterra thing for like 10 weeks in a row. People hate this guy. They just don't like him. I don't know why.
He doesn't get targets,
Well,
but he is running all the routes, right?
Well, he doesn't get targets because Jalen Hurts has not thrown for 300 yards and has only completed more than 20 passes once in the last 10 games.
I'm stunned that people aren't more excited for Quez Watkins at the tight end position.
Hey, Quez Watkins at tight end, bro. Dave, how are you not just absolutely slam dunking
Chig?
Career
10
high
targets.
target.
I almost said him. I mean, obviously, it wasn't just Chig. It was also Wiley.
I was at the catbird seat, and Chig was 2 tables over.
They're involving these tight ends. At least last week they did. So against Indy, sure, yeah, I like.
I'm
it.
not saying it's this week, but Dalton can eventually, right?
No,
Like,
never.
Eventually,
No.
because that's the sentiment. That's the Davis sentiment.
Yeah, he should have
Yeah.
63 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he did
widespread.
the touchdown, almost get 14 points last week.
Dude,
so-
did you guys see the celebration after the first down that Kincaid had? It was one of the
No.
greatest first down celebrations. Oh my god, I gotta pull this up right now. It's like his
shout out to Kincaid.
it's like his first. Here you go. Watch this. So he gets the first down here. Both defenders fall down. Point first.
All right, that's pretty good.
I didn't see that one.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good. Maybe Liam was right after all. After all.
Because I said, can they do that? Because I thought that you could not do that, but you can in the pros, I guess.
You can't mimic gunfire.
But that, I mean, didn't he kind of do that? Bang, bang.
It wasn't. It
Um,
was a point, not a gun.
Yeah. Now what is that? Why they do the bow and arrow, because that's less offensive than a gun.
You can if you're white. I think that's the thing.
When
You
they
can
do
if
the
you're
bow
white.
and arrow, do they take it out of their back and do it?
They
or
should.
They just do it. Yeah.
Because then you could
I've
actually
tried to get
appeal
my
it and be
kids
like,
to
"You're
do that
white."
at the soccer celebration.
Yeah.
I've tried to get that's one of my favorites. Yeah, the
Katniss.
They're like, it wasn't a gun, and they're like, "Sir, we saw you doing object work of clearly getting a musket ready to fire."
I don't know about the
geez.
prep work for that.
Do it,
Dave
kitchen.
was over there
No,
jerking off
I was
there.
about-
Oh, according to TCD, players do get fined for the bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow.
What about like a sword? And then do the Z. Yeah.
The
Zorro?
Z could be good. The Z could be good.
All right. Last tight end. This is a George Kittle week. I'm calling it.
Because every week's a George Kittle week.
No.
So
last
brave
week
of you.
wasn't. Last week wasn't. But everyone's going to be going for
I
the
think
other guys.
I think the Purdy flop leg after being so bad on national TV, it's going to happen.
Bowers week is over. It's going to be McBride and Kittle this week.
The age of Bowers is over. The era of Kittle begins.
Well, I just think,
Desmond Ritter ruined it.
yeah, I just think with Ritter, it's whatever.
Maybe AOC's healthy.
Okay, then we're back. Then we're back in the game.
Are you willing to pay $3,500 DraftKings dollars for Britton Strange?
That's what I'm saying. People are going to go back to that well, but I do agree that he has to be pushed.
Bretton Strange does.
Well, that offense has to be pushed for them to like throw that much. Might just want to jam in Tank Bigsby this week. What if he's like the skeleton key?
I mean,
They switched roles
the
again
Bigsby
last
crowd.
week.
Yeah, ETN had a nice workload.
Even more reason. All right.
Even more reason.
It's all game. It's
I have a
all
hard
game
out
theory
five,
until Kitchen recommends it, and then it's not.
Yes, Dave, that's literally accurate.
In Kitchen's head, he's like manufacturing 25% ownership on ETN so he can pivot to a low-owned Take Bigsby. False premise, Your Honor.
Ooh, wait. Oh no, that's not this week. Falcons Commanders flexed into Sunday Night Football, week 17.
Just seeing inside the process of a normie. That's the best part of this Swolecast.
Yeah. Davis, is the worst part when the normie advances way more teams than you?
One is more than zero, an infinite amount more. Actually, that's true.
Well, and also more DK teams.
True.
And the fast puppy. I think the fantasy flock contest
no, Dave,
too.
We are not pouring off on the show to start doing that.
No, I've got 6 more teams on DK, so
yeah, we're not doing that. Trust me.
Well, you're
you're
not doing it.
Okay. All right.
How many other teams do you have advancing, Davis?
I didn't count. I don't want it's because I don't want to be that guy. The dude.
Since when do you not want to be that guy?
I don't want to be that guy because I was like the worst player on the site this year. So if I win, I win.
Don't do this false, like, oh, woe is me. I'm not gonna try to make this into a bit. I was so bad.
Dave, if you want to know, I do a 2-hour show every Wednesday going through my teams. You can watch that if you're really curious.
I'm not going to do that.
I don't think you are, but that's how you know your curiosity.
I was going to say
genuine.
false modesty, but I don't. Maybe it is false modesty.
No, I'm
not going to promote. If you win one of these side contests for 10K, you won't do anything with it because that
of course I'll tweet it. I'll say
what you'll tweet it. Wait for the vidIQ title.
Yeah, what would the funniest thing to tweet be? Like, thought this one was dead. Snuck this one through.
If you had 9,432 entries, you could have won the mini Schnauzer 6 too.
Yeah, something like that. It's really good. Yeah. If I
you like my gems title this week? My YouTube title?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It did get a good chuckle out of me.
This week would have been this year would have been like a good documentary, like for a best ball documentary series, because Ryan Williams Davis Sun running preseason news seems like an eternity ago. Like it really was a big roller coaster ride for a lot of different people. And like the Derrick Henry, Saquon teams now being dead, like, I mean, there's lots of ups and downs, but that's why we play.
Yeah. At the end, we all end up in the same place. No fucking money. You're all going to lose. You're all going to lose anyways. Very good.
Davis, that's not true. That's not true.
Dave,
all it takes is one.
Sure.
I just don't like your attitude right now.
We've all been marked safe from life-changing money, so it's going to be okay.
No, not all of us.
But you know what we're not marked safe from, Davis? Life-changing friendship. And that's what we have on the Swolecast.
That's right.
That's true. That's true. The friends you made along the way was your 7% advance rate.
Tutskis, do you have anything for us before we head out?
Got one prop for tonight.
Yep.
You're gonna have to line shop for this one because it is different as everywhere. Threw it in yesterday. It was 40.5 on FanDuel. I think FanDuel's up to 42.5. I think BetGM still has 40.5.
What do you play it up to, Tuttle?
Yeah. I haven't projected for 50 receiving yards, so I think the 42.5 is still fine. But anything above that, we're probably
laddering this. You laddering this?
We are not. We are not. Demir Blankenship over 40.5 receiving yards.
Dude, Demir Blankenship ruined us late this year. Like, legitimately got, like, what did he get? Like 68 points or something?
What, against North Texas, maybe?
Yeah.
For the people, asking for a friend, how do you spell that?
Demir.
Not Demir.
Blankenship is Blank. I know blank is hard to spell. UMSEE.
I think it was
any relationship to Rodrigo Blankenship?
Cousins.
Yes.
Cousins.
Gosh, remember kickers? Gosh, those were the best.
Remember when FanDuel used to have kickers?
Cairo, it's lit.
It's lit. See, people don't even. There's so much lore with this program.
Yeah, I know.
Well, some would say too much of it. Let's end the show.
Yeah, let's wait. We got to go. Davis, final thoughts, and try to keep it on a positive note, please.
If you want to watch me lose some more money, immediately after this program, you will be redirected to me drafting playoff best ball teams with the sidekick on my YouTube channel.
There you go. Pete, final thoughts.
If you guys go and comment on Davis's video, he's doing a giveaway, 50% of his playoff best ball winnings to a subscriber.
Our lawyers are letting me know I no longer have the assets in reserve to cover that, and therefore the giveaway has been canceled. Shout out to Justin Rao, by the way, winner of the giveaway. You didn't read the fine print. You're now on the hook for 5% of negative $3,250. So
probably the worst use of run good ever by Justin there.
Yeah. Here's a promise to you, Davis. If I win either on DraftKings or Underdog, if I win the 1.5 or the $1 million, anything 7 figures or above, I'll give 1% to your fan base.
Okay.
Anyone who entered that. So,
sure.
Are you going to give anything to Dave?
Give it to Justin, brother. Justin won the giveaway. Give it to him.
Okay. There you go. Davis,
extra run good for you, Justin.
Yeah. And Pete, what did you say?
I said, are you giving anything to Davis if you win 7 figures?
I don't.
I feel like every show I do with Davis, he should be learning from and taking down notes. But yeah, I'll put something together for him.
Wow, sure. Look at this. We got one guy in 2024 who won money on advice. So that's batting average. Yeah. We're 1 for about 7,000. So
203 points last week. That was good for what? Like a 1.5.
I was going to say literally no money.
I think I'm the one who actually gave the BTJ.
Shut up in the show.
Check the timestamps. All right. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. Just thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a part of this, and you're a part of this journey. You know, whether it ended last week, whether it's still going on, you're a part of our journey, and we appreciate you. We'll see you next time here on the Swolecast, sponsored by IKB. We appreciate you, IKB. Peace.
Sorry. Can you Davis Mattek from the Swolecast? I was like, yep, that's me.
I just want you guys to know I'm total dust. I'm the problem.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Leave it to the guy with the crypto dunes, Abby, to not understand content.
I should have known you getting 30 likes was directly written by someone else.
You know me, I don't do a ton of research before the show.
I put no research.